We have already talked about the downturn of the economy, inflation issues. Let's get into the details. What can you do? What will you do as governor to actually help Arkansans with high gas prices, high food prices, regardless of who or which party is in the White House? Mr. Harrington, you first.
Well, I would definitely like to work on occupational licensing to give people more opportunities to start businesses and from where they are to be able to provide for their families, to remove some of these extra burdensome things that get in the way. You know, sometimes people have the ability, but they don't have the money. Sometimes people might have the money, but they don't have the ability. You know, life works out like that. What I want to do is to bring liberty and freedom here to Arkansas for people to pave a way for themselves, however they see fit, as long as they are not doing any harm to another human being. Now, this economy that we're dealing with right now, people saying, oh, it's so fine, it's okay, everything's going to be all right. I'm just going to tell you the truth right here. We might have some rough time ahead, and we all need to prepare for it.
Ms. Sanders.
One of the most important things we can do is let people keep more of their money. If we want to actually help them at a time when they really need it and fight back against the high inflation and the record gas prices that our people have experienced over the last couple of years, we need to allow them to keep more money in their pocket. And we're going to do that by continuing to responsibly phase out the state income tax, rewarding people's hard work instead of penalizing it at the hands of the government. This has to be a priority, not just because it helps our citizens, but frankly, we can't afford not to. Arkansas cannot continue to compete with the states around us, much less in a global economy, if we aren't more competitive on this front. And it's one of the reasons I have made that such a big priority in my campaign and will make it a huge priority in my administration.
Mr. Jones, 1 minute.
Inflation is hurting. The economy is putting pressure on Arkansans, and I've heard it as I've traveled the state and talked to Arkansans in all 75 counties, from Cove to Camden, from Harrison to Hamburg. I also know personally what it feels like, because I'm a kid who didn't grow up with a silver spoon in his mouth. I grew up and I remember the shutoff notices, and that's part of what Arkansans are facing now. 67% of our state are what's called ALICE, asset limited, income constrained, but employed. They are working hard, but having a really tough time making ends meet. And as governor, we have to think about the short-term and the long-term solutions. And PB&J is a long-term solution. Preschool broadband and jobs, providing education at the outset, because we know that kids that go to pre-K are more likely to read by 3rd grade, and they're more likely to have a living wage job, and they're less likely to go to prison. We also know that businesses need infrastructure in order for them to thrive. And we certainly need to make investments in our rural areas for economic development and jobs that'll keep a roof over your head and allow you to take a vacation.
We go now back to Mr. Harrington for 30 seconds.
You know, we're coming off the end of a pandemic where we did pass the CARES Act and some of the COVID relief, where people had a lot of money. Our state received a record surplus, in my opinion, because of the extra money that people had taken in those taxes. So again, I'm saying that we have to prepare ourselves for what is coming, and we have to be wise.
Got to cut it there. Ms. Sanders, back to you.
Our focus has to be on things that actually empower Arkansans to live their best life right here in Arkansas. That's why my focus on education, making sure every child in the state has access to a quality education, is so imperative to the success of our state. Making sure that our streets are safe, making sure that the communities that our kids are growing up in aren't the most dangerous in America, and making sure that we are rewarding hard work. These are the priorities that are going to allow Arkansans to live their best life right here at home.
Mr. Jones.
I encourage all Arkansans to take a look at our websites and see what our plans are and how we will implement and focus on things that benefit all Arkansans. Take a look, take an exhaustive look at them. And here's the deal. When we make decisions, as Mr. Harrington said, we have to think about the consequences of those decisions, intended and unintended. And we also have to make sure that we're leading with compassion, because you can have a plan, but the question is, who is that plan benefiting?